Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 20-14. If you found your way to this message, it's not by chance. There are no coincidences when it comes to the chosen. You were led here drawn by something greater because deep down, you've always sensed it. You are different. You've carried a weight others don't, a quiet, persistent awareness that you were meant for more. Even if you couldn't explain it, the call has always been there. This message isn't for everyone. It's for the few, the chosen, those with a divine mission on earth. If that's not you, you won't connect with what follows. But if it is, these words will awaken something deep within you. They are keys meant to unlock doors only you can walk through. Stay until the end. What you're about to hear could shift the entire course of your spiritual journey. These are truths you must understand to guard your spirit and walk your path with power, wisdom, and divine protection. Your mission is critical. The opposition is real, and preparation is not optional. Let's begin. As a chosen one, there are things you must keep sacred, kept to yourself or shared only with the few who truly understand. You likely sense this already. People notice there's something different about you. Some are drawn to your light, others are unsettled by it. Not everyone around you has your best interests at heart, and not everyone is meant to walk your path. That's why the first lesson is this: secrecy is essential. Not secrecy as in deception, but discernment, the wisdom to know what to share, when to share, and with whom. Your spiritual and emotional safety depends on it. There are insights, revelations, and even personal struggles that are meant only for you or a trusted few. Why? Because not everyone can understand what you've been given. Some will mock it, others will doubt, and some will twist your words and use them against you. The chosen are often misunderstood, and in that misunderstanding lies real danger. Jesus warned us of this very thing. Do not give what is holy to dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn and tear you to pieces. Matthew 7-6. As a chosen one, you carry pearls, wisdom, gifts, and divine purpose. These are sacred. Not everyone is prepared to receive them, and many will not respect them. That's why you must guard your path carefully. You are not meant to broadcast every detail of your journey, or every spiritual insight. Discernment must guide every interaction. Now, let's explore the first secret you must protect for your mission: your spirit and your survival. Your spiritual insights are sacred. As a chosen one, the revelations you receive are not meant for everyone, especially not for those who are spiritually unawakened. These truths are treasures, entrusted to you by the divine, and must be treated as such. Not every insight is meant to be shared openly. Many will not understand, and some will ridicule or reject what you've been given. This isn't because your insight lacks truth. It's because they are not yet ready to receive it. Throughout history, prophets and seers understood this. They often spoke in parables, symbols, or remained silent until the right moment. Why? Because they carried wisdom too powerful to be exposed carelessly. Prematurely sharing sacred knowledge can invite ridicule, misunderstanding, and even spiritual attack. Think of your insights as gems. They're not for display, nor for satisfying curiosity. They are given to guide and strengthen you, not to prove anything to others. Shared with the wrong people or at the wrong time, these gems can be distorted, dismissed, or weaponized. Let this be clear. This doesn't mean you'll never share your wisdom. There will be moments when the Spirit moves you to speak and you will know. But until that moment, guard your revelations with discretion. Wisdom isn't just knowing what to say, it's knowing when and to whom. If you've ever felt misunderstood after speaking something deeply spiritual, this is why. The world is not ready for all that you carry, and that's okay. You weren't called to convince the world. You were called to fulfill a mission. And sometimes, fulfilling that mission begins with knowing when to stay silent. As a chosen one, you carry divine strength, but you are still human. Like all humans, you face moments of doubt, fear, exhaustion, and emotional pain. These are natural, but they are not meant to be exposed to just anyone. Why? Because not everyone responds with compassion. Some people see vulnerability not as a moment of connection, but as an opportunity to exploit, judge, or drain. We live in a world where energy is a form of currency, and your light makes you a target. Spiritual parasites are real. They're drawn to the brightness of the chosen not to honor it, but to extinguish it. When you reveal your cracks to the wrong people, you give them a map to your weakest points. You must be discerning with your heart. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. Many will pretend to support you while secretly resenting or envying your calling. If they know where you're vulnerable, they may use it against you. This doesn't mean you should hide your humanity. We all need safe spaces and trusted people who can hold our pain with love. But those individuals are rare. They're not found in the crowd, they're revealed through prayer, spiritual guidance, and time. Trust must be earned, not assumed. Even Jesus, in his darkest hour, didn't lay his soul bare before the masses. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he brought only his closest disciples. He knew some moments are too sacred to be shared widely. Follow that wisdom. Share your struggles selectively, only with those who have proven themselves to be safe, faithful, and spiritually aligned. Guard your inner sanctum. Protect your sacred space. You are not called to be invincible, but you are called to be wise. The vulnerabilities you carry are not weaknesses. They are part of your sacred mission. But they must be protected, not displayed. As you continue on your journey, remember, not all ears are ready to hear, and not all hearts are ready to hold what you carry. Guard your spirit, share wisely, and never forget, what has been entrusted to you is holy. Your energy is not ordinary, it is sacred. As a chosen one, your presence radiates a light that others feel, even if they can't explain it. This spiritual energy is part of your divine calling, and it's what fuels your purpose. But with this light comes responsibility. You must guard it carefully. Have you ever noticed how people seem drawn to you? They're sensing something different, something powerful. That light within you attracts both the inspired and the spiritually needy. And while some are uplifted by your presence, others will attempt to drain it. These are the ones who constantly pull from you emotionally, spiritually, energetically, while offering nothing in return. They bring problems, chaos, and negativity to your doorstep, expecting you to absorb it all. Over time, this leaves you depleted, not just tired, but spiritually weakened. Let's be clear, this is not your imagination. That drained feeling after certain conversations or encounters is your spirit's way of sounding the alarm. Your energy is being siphoned by those who see your light but don't respect its source. Now hear this truth. You are not obligated to pour into everyone. You are called to serve, yes, but with discernment, not exhaustion. How to guard your energy. Recognize the drain. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with certain people. If you consistently feel heavy, anxious, or spiritually dry, that's a sign. The divine gave you intuition for a reason. Trust it. Learn to say no. As a chosen one, you're naturally inclined to help, to heal, to uplift. But even healers must rest. No is not a rejection, it's a boundary. Saying no allows you to preserve your strength for those truly aligned with your mission. Protect your inner circle. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Your closest relationships should nourish you, not drain you. Surround yourself with those who respect your calling, who lift you up, and who pour into you as much as you pour into them. Even Jesus was selective. He ministered to the multitudes, but he spent his deepest moments with a small circle of disciples, and within that, there were even deeper layers of trust. Follow that example. Guard your flame. Your energy is not infinite, and it is not for everyone. It is a divine resource, entrusted to you for a purpose. Guard it as you would guard sacred fire, with intention, discernment, and reverence. Remember, you cannot fulfill your mission if you're running on empty. Let's move beyond energy. Let's talk about your presence. Your very being carries sacred weight. This isn't just about what you give, it's about who you are. As a chosen one, your presence shifts atmospheres. It draws attention, influences environments, and stirs the spiritual realm. You've likely felt it. You enter a room, and the energy changes. You speak a few words, and people pause to listen. That's not coincidence, it's your divine imprint in motion. But with that power comes responsibility. Not everyone is worthy of sharing space with you. This may sound harsh, but it's truth. Your presence carries divine purpose, and not everyone can handle it. Some will be intimidated by you, others will be envious, and some will try to diminish your light, not because of what you've done, but because of what you represent. How to protect your presence. Be mindful of your environments. As a chosen one, you are sensitive to spiritual energy. Hostile, jealous, or spiritually dark environments can weigh on you deeply. Yes, your presence may uplift the space, but it can also be attacked by energies that oppose your light. Discern where you go. Not every room deserves your presence. Treat your presence as a gift. You wouldn't toss a priceless gem into the mud, so don't offer your sacred self to those who dishonor your worth. This isn't arrogance. It's spiritual stewardship. You're not here to please everyone, to guide everyone, or to fit in everywhere. Your mission is too significant for that. Embrace the power of solitude. Solitude is not loneliness, it's sacred preservation. As a chosen one, there will be times you must retreat, to recharge, to reconnect with the divine, to protect your presence from overexposure. Even Jesus withdrew from the crowds to be alone in prayer. If he needed solitude to remain spiritually strong and connected, how much more do we? Your energy and your presence are the core of your spiritual power. They are the foundation of your calling, your impact, and your divine assignment. But they are also vulnerable, and if left unguarded, they can be depleted or corrupted. So set boundaries, be intentional, practice discernment, and above all, honor the sacredness of who you are. You weren't chosen to be common. You were chosen to be set apart. Not everyone deserves access to you, and that's by design. As a chosen one, silence is one of your greatest allies in a world that thrives on noise, where everyone wants to be heard. There is immense power in holding your tongue. This doesn't mean living in constant secrecy or never speaking your truth. Rather, it means knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. The great spiritual masters often spoke very little for a reason. Silence holds a unique, divine energy. In silence, you communicate with the spiritual realm in ways words cannot. Think about how often words spoken in haste or frustration have caused regret. Words create and destroy. Once released, they cannot be taken back. Silence, on the other hand, is a space for reflection, contemplation, and gathering strength. When you choose silence, especially when others expect you to react, you harness control over your energy. You gather wisdom, observe, discern, and understand the deeper meaning behind situations that might otherwise provoke an emotional response. Silence as a shield. As a chosen one, you will face provocation, questioning, and challenges to your spiritual path. In these moments, silence can be your greatest defense. By refraining from reacting to negativity or conflict, you preserve your peace and energy. Not every battle is yours to fight. Consider Jesus, who remained silent before his accusers. Even when mocked and questioned, he chose silence over defense, because his mission did not require worldly validation. He was secure in his purpose. You, too, must adopt this mindset. You don't need to justify your path to those who do not understand. Let them speak. Your silence will speak volumes. When to speak and when to stay silent. There will be times when the Spirit moves you to speak, to share wisdom or defend righteousness. In those moments, speak boldly and without hesitation. But learn to discern the difference between a divine call to speak and an emotional reaction. Before responding, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will my words bring light or feed darkness? Does my response serve my mission, or is it just a reaction to ignorance or negativity? More often than not, silence is the wiser choice. It preserves your dignity, protects your energy, and keeps your focus sharp. By choosing silence, you deny your opposition power and leave room for divine guidance to shape your next steps. Discretion walks hand in hand with silence, but it operates on a different level. It's about knowing what to reveal and what to withhold. As a chosen one, certain aspects of your life, spiritual path, and mission must remain hidden, not out of fear or secrecy, but out of sacred wisdom. Why discretion matters. In today's world of oversharing, constant communication, and relentless validation, it's easy to reveal every detail of our lives. But for the chosen, this is dangerous. Your spiritual journey is sacred, and not everyone is meant to witness it. Discretion protects you from unnecessary spiritual attacks. When you reveal too much your plans, struggles, or victories, you open doors for interference. Some do so out of jealousy or malice. Others unintentionally cause harm. Think of your spiritual path like a delicate plant that needs time to grow roots and strengthen. Expose it too soon, and it becomes vulnerable to storms and careless feet. Protecting your spiritual progress. As you grow, you'll experience revelations, breakthroughs, and moments of divine clarity, precious gifts meant to guide and empower you. But not everyone is ready to understand or respect these. Sharing too early can lead to misunderstanding, mockery, or even spiritual attack. The enemy thrives on information. The more they know about your weaknesses and plans, the easier it is for them to disrupt your journey. Move in silence. Let your spiritual power and success speak when the time is right. Discretion in relationships. Your relationships are vital, especially with others on a similar spiritual path. But not all connections deserve public attention. Some relationships are private, sacred, and divinely orchestrated for a purpose, especially romantic ones. You may attract those drawn to your light but not aligned with your mission. Be discerning about who enters your inner circle and who hears your deepest truths. Protect your connections from outside interference and negativity. The power of moving in silence. There is immense strength in making decisions, working on your mission, and progressing quietly. Moving in silence shields you from distraction, interference, and unnecessary scrutiny. It allows you to focus solely on your calling and your connection to the divine. When the time comes to reveal your achievements, the impact will be undeniable. Emotions are an essential part of being human, even as a chosen one. You will experience the full spectrum: joy, sorrow, anger, love, frustration. But your path is different. You cannot afford to be controlled by your emotions. To fulfill your mission effectively, you must master them. Why mastery matters. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring them. It means understanding where they come from, why they arise, and how to channel them in ways that serve your purpose rather than disrupt it. This is no easy task, but it is necessary. As a spiritual warrior, like any warrior, you must remain calm and focused even in the heat of battle. When emotions take over, your judgment becomes clouded, and your ability to make wise decisions weakens. The enemy thrives on chaos. If you're ruled by emotions, you become vulnerable to manipulation, distraction, and defeat. Consider Moses. Even after leading his people out of Egypt, he struggled with mastering his emotions. In frustration, he struck the rock instead of speaking to it, as God commanded. Numbers 27:2. This act cost him entry into the promised land. This shows us even the divinely chosen can falter if they do not learn emotional mastery. How to master your emotions. Self-awareness. Tune into your inner world. When anger rises or sadness overwhelms, pause and ask, why am I feeling this? What is the root cause? Emotions often stem from deeper issues like fears, trauma, or unmet expectations. Understanding the root helps you address the cause instead of reacting to the surface. Emotional regulation. Learn to respond rather than react. When strong feelings hit, pause, breathe, center yourself and ask, what is the wisest action? This pause prevents impulsive decisions you may regret. Remember, mastery isn't suppression. Suppressed emotions don't vanish. They fester and explode. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them control your actions. Channeling emotions for spiritual strength. Your emotions can be a powerful source of energy if channeled wisely. Righteous anger can fuel positive change, inspiring action against injustice. Sorrow can deepen compassion, motivating healing and upliftment. Joy can become a light that lifts others. Ask yourself, how can I transform this emotion into spiritual strength? Let your emotions serve as tools, not masters. By mastering your emotions, you stay aligned with your divine mission and maintain control over your spiritual journey. Balance is the cornerstone of a chosen one's life. Without it, even the most powerful spiritual warrior can falter. Balance keeps you grounded, enabling you to walk the fine line between the spiritual and physical worlds, without losing yourself in either. But in today's chaotic world, maintaining balance is challenging. You are pulled in many directions: work, relationships, responsibilities, and your spiritual path. Without care, overwhelm, burnout, or disconnection from your higher purpose can follow. How to maintain balance as a chosen one. Prioritize your spiritual life. Your spiritual connection is the foundation of everything you do. No matter how busy life gets, make time daily for spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, reflection, or silent communion with the divine. This connection centers you and grants clarity and strength. Practice self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Your physical, mental, and emotional well-being are as vital as your spiritual health. Nourish your body with proper nutrition, rest, and exercise. Protect your mind by setting boundaries, avoiding toxic environments, and engaging in joy and peace. Learn to say no. People naturally gravitate to your light and energy. While your mission is to uplift, you must guard against overextension. You are not responsible for everyone's healing. Discern when to help and when to step back. Saying no is not selfish, it's essential for balance. Cultivate a balanced mindset. Avoid extremes in emotion, behavior, or belief. Stay grounded. Seek wisdom from spiritual and practical sources alike. Remember, you live in both spiritual and physical realms. Each has its place in your journey. Neglecting one invites imbalance. Balancing relationships. Your relationships can either strengthen or weaken your spiritual path. Surround yourself with those who support your growth and respect your mission. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy or pull you away from your purpose. Balance does not mean cutting off those in need, but knowing how much of yourself to give and when to recharge. You are called to be a light, not a martyr. Balancing solitude and connection. Solitude is vital for renewal and divine guidance. Equally important is connection, guiding, inspiring, and uplifting others. Find a rhythm that works for you. Spend enough time alone to recharge, but don't isolate yourself. Your mission requires engagement with the world. Balance solitude with meaningful connection, and your spiritual power will grow stronger with each interaction. Mastering your emotions and maintaining balance are not just goals. They are essential for your spiritual survival and growth. Emotional mastery keeps you focused. Balance keeps you grounded and aligned. You walk a sacred path. Every step requires awareness, discipline, and grace. By mastering your emotions and living a balanced life, you empower yourself to move through the world with strength, wisdom, and divine purpose. As a chosen one, your spiritual sensitivity is heightened. You feel the subtle vibrations of people, places, and situations more deeply than most. This sensitivity is a sacred gift, but it also leaves you vulnerable to negative energies. Spiritual attacks, whether from people, environments, or unseen forces, are real. They can show up as emotional exhaustion, confusion, doubt, fear, or even physical illness. Protecting your spirit is essential for your well-being and for fulfilling your divine mission. How to protect your spirit? 1. Maintain a strong connection to the divine. Your relationship with the Creator is your ultimate shield. When you stay in tune with the divine, you receive guidance, clarity, and a protective spiritual fortress. This connection surrounds you with love, light, and wisdom, diminishing the power of darkness and negativity. Maintain this connection through daily spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, and reading sacred texts. These practices ground you and strengthen your spiritual armor. 2. Use spiritual tools for protection. Enhance your defense with spiritual tools such as prayers, affirmations, crystals, and protective symbols. Calling on divine assistance is powerful. One of the strongest prayers for protection is the Lord's Prayer, which Jesus gave as a shield against evil. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Matthew 6:11-13. When under attack, speak words of protection over yourself. Declare you are surrounded by light, and that no weapon formed against you will prosper. 3. Cleanse your energy regularly. Just as your body needs cleansing, so does your spirit. Negative energies can cling to you from toxic people, places, or stressful situations. Spiritual cleansing rituals like smudging with sage, bathing in salt water, or visualizing white light washing over you help release these energies and restore purity. Recognizing spiritual attacks. Not every difficulty is a spiritual attack, but you must be aware of the signs. These may include overwhelming fear, doubt, or confusion, feeling disconnected from your purpose or the divine, loss of inspiration or joy, unusual conflicts in relationships, a heavy sense of oppression or recurring negative thoughts. If you recognize these signs, do not panic. These are attempts to divert you from your path. Responding to spiritual attacks. In these moments, spiritual protection is critical. Pray for guidance and ask for divine assistance. Surround yourself with protective energy. Refuse to give in to fear. Fear is the enemy's most effective weapon. Stand firm in your faith and your divine connection. The final secret is the foundation of all the others. Without it, none will hold. Your connection to the divine is your lifeline. It is the source of your wisdom, your protection, and your power as a chosen one. How to strengthen your connection to the divine. 1. Prioritize daily communion. Whether you call it prayer, meditation, or reflection, this sacred time aligns you with higher forces guiding your life. It is when you receive the messages, insights, and direction needed to fulfill your mission. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of busyness, work, relationships, and responsibilities distract from spiritual practice. But neglecting this connection is the most dangerous mistake. When disconnected, you become vulnerable to chaos, lose sight of your purpose, and weaken your spiritual protection. Even Jesus, in the midst of his ministry, often withdrew to solitary places to pray. Luke 5:16. If he needed that time, how much more do you? 2. Develop spiritual listening. Strengthening this connection requires learning to listen. Prayer and meditation aren't one-sided conversations. The divine is always speaking through intuition, signs, and circumstances, but we must quiet the noise to hear. Spiritual listening demands stillness, a silencing of external and internal chatter. When you listen, you discover that answers often lie within. The divine speaks through your intuition, the still small voice guiding you, but you must be willing to hear it. 3. Surrender to divine will. Maintaining connection requires surrender, not passivity, but trust that the divine has a plan for your highest good. Your path may seem unclear to others, and even to you, but every challenge and lesson is part of your growth and mission. Surrender means releasing control, fears, doubts, and anxieties to the divine. This opens you to guidance and miracles, revealing that even apparent chaos works for your good. This isn't blind faith but spiritual wisdom, the knowledge that the Creator's plan surpasses human understanding. By surrendering, you align with divine timing, wisdom, and power. 4. Embrace the power of faith. Faith sustains you when the path is dark, the challenge is immense, and the world heavy. It reminds you that you are never alone, that you are divinely protected, and your mission is guided by forces beyond yourself. Your faith will be tested. Times will come when you feel abandoned, doubt your purpose, or carry overwhelming burdens. But remember, the divine never abandons the chosen. You are always guided, even when the way forward isn't seen. Faith is not absence of doubt, it's choosing to move forward despite it. The inner knowing that you are on the right path. Keeping your faith strong keeps your connection to the divine alive, and that connection will see you through any storm. Chosen ones, your journey is sacred yet challenging. Spiritual protection and a steadfast connection to the divine are your greatest defenses. They form the foundation for walking your path with confidence, wisdom, and strength. Never neglect this connection. It is the source of your power, guidance, and protection. Keep your spirit aligned, guard your heart, and trust that every step you take is divinely orchestrated. With these secrets, you are equipped to walk the path of the chosen with courage and spiritual authority. You are not alone. Forces greater than you guide your steps. Trust this truth, and know your purpose is greater than you can imagine. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's build a community of like-minded souls, dedicated to spiritual growth and personal development. Stay blessed, and keep shining your light. Until next time, thank you for being a part of Conscious Queries.